Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. We're here in the evenings before game time. No more morning shows. We're here in the evening trying to get things kicked off. We got to kind of speed through everything so we can get through all the plays that we want to talk about before they get going. And that way we can get our picks in. Again, all those picks over at sportbetextra.com get you a free 7-day trial. Then if you like it, sign up, continue, get another 1 week, get you another 1 month, get you 3 months. Those are the three packages that I've got to offer. So lock in with me after this show. I will be posting all the plays over on sportbetextra.com. I'll give out one free play as per usual here at the end of the show. Then the rest will be there for members. You can unlock that there again, gives you a 7-day trial, see how you like it. We've got a lot of NBA to cover today, a lot of college to cover, just kind of a lot of fun things to talk about today. We're going to go over and kind of talk about what we've been doing in the past 4 months, how we're looking there, and then we're also just going to talk about last week and last night's plays. Let's just get right into the show, man. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up that record. Overall record. Here we go. Currently, plus 22.57 units. NBA 33 and 28. College basketball 123, 97 and 2 pushes. Of course, the rest don't matter right now. We're in the thick of NBA and college basketball, but you can see there 3-0 MLB, NFL 17 and 16, and college football is 8 and 14, and not our best. So here's where we are. Yesterday's plays. College basketball was not good to us yesterday. Alabama plus 8.5. Of course, no good there. Florida ran away with that one. TCU minus 1.5. No good. Illinois money line cashed there. Nice little plus money. We had plus 116. Ended up coming back second half and beating Nebraska there. Nebraska, first time off a loss. Kind of assumed they wouldn't respond too well against a tough Illinois team there. And then part of our NBA betting strategy, Heat minus 5.5 winner there. So last night goes 2-2, total of 22.57 units so far since October. Let's switch on over to the monthly results. We picked up here our show in October, October 21st when we started back up. Quickly went up plus 3.36 units at the end of October. November, we had a huge month in November there. Nice little, college basketball starting. Kind of helped us with some of those there in NBA as well. So November was really good to us. December could have been better, plus 5.39 units there. And last month was minus 7.02 units. Not the best month. Could not find the momentum we need. We're looking to get that back, especially now with college basketball just going and you got conference play. This is where we really can find some great edges. So let's look to bring February back up to the positive. We're going to try and get at least double-digit positive units there, at least in the 10. If we can get the 10 to 20 range, great. If we can get more than that, even better. So that's currently where we're at. Not going to hide it. We're still up 22 units there and some change. So that's just is what it is. So today, NBA, college basketball, not a huge slate of either. So really can kind of pick and choose what we want to take. Obviously, Pelicans Hornets have already played there. Hornets won 102 to 95 there, and they barely, like we see it, cover that 6.5 by the hook. Fortunately, if you were on, the wrong side of that, that's no fun there. But Hornets win and cover that today. 3 games. Rockets at the Pacers. Rockets laying about a 6.5 number there. Timberwolves at Grizzlies. Timberwolves laying that 5.5. And then 76ers, Clippers there. I believe, let me double check, NBA betting strategy comes into effect tonight with the Grizzlies. Currently, the NBA betting strategy, again, it's hit or miss. It's right around that 50, 52%, 55%. Right now, currently, the NBA betting strategy for the season is 16-14. It started off hot, 8-2, cooled down in the middle, and we've just been kind of even keeled since then, 16-14. Today, we do have a play in the NBA betting strategy with the Grizzlies. Yesterday was kind of that one off with the Heat and the Bulls playing 3 times in a row. We don't get that. I can't remember the last time we saw teams play 3 times in a row, but of course, all the postponement, things like that happen. But last night, NBA betting strategy was a winner. Can we continue that today with the Grizzlies plus 5.5? That will be play. There's no hiding it. That's our free play of the day. I'll give out the actual number that I will be locking at the end of the show. Again, I use Profit X there. Go use my code Paul Rami, get you an extra 20% on a $100 purchase match. There, Grizzlies plus 5.5 will be the play at the end of the show. So we'll get that in definitely before tip off, which is in about an hour and 20 minutes. Actually, about an hour and 30 minutes, and they actually get going. But that will be one of the plays. 76ers at Clippers. 76ers laying that short, small number, minus 1.5 there on the road. So Rockets at Pacers. Again, that number there, I'm not a huge fan of the 6.5, but I'm also not a huge fan of the Pacers. Still, just not really in love with this team. I think the Rockets, even without Kevin Durant, they'll be fine. They'll be able to move the ball still, have no issues there. But when you look at the Pacers, right, as of late, they've been playing some good ball. Beating the Thunder 117-114, lost to the Hawks, and they go beat the Bulls 113-110. And the Hawks, again, they play them and they win that time 129-124. They're a gritty team. They keep it close. Indiana defensively is not the greatest. So we know Houston is really going to have an edge there on the defensive side of the ball. With that total being so low, 218.5, they're expecting a game here to be 110. What is that? 110, 108? No, that's a little wrong. 12, somewhere around there. 112, 116, or 112, 106, somewhere around that range. Yeah, I don't know if the Pacers are going to put up over 100 points for this game. Possibly, I don't see it. I know the Rockets do come back home and have the Celtics, so this is kind of that weird sandwich game where, they're at home, took on the Mavericks, and they go on the road Monday night, go play the Pacers, come back home, and you've got the Celtics there. I would, as much as I don't like the Pacers, I would lean them to cover this short number. Not confident in this game at all. I would lean more towards an under on this game. It just feels like one of those games that's going to just kind of be sloppy, shots missed, a lot of turnovers. I would just lean an under that 218.5 on this game. I wouldn't be on either side of that one for this one in particular. That's just kind of a lean there. Nothing really concrete on this one. Next one, of course, Timberwolves, Grizzlies there. It looks like the line may have shifted. I need to double check that there because we will be on the Grizzlies plus 5.5. So, of course, they lose to the Timberwolves last game, 131-114. Most likely, Anthony Edwards, I'm going to assume some news came out that he will be in. That number's up now to a 7.5. It's moving pretty quickly. So most likely, Anthony Edwards should be good to go. I know it's stating right now currently he's questionable. That's what I'm saying. I've got to check these updates because that's there we go. Julius Randle, good to go Monday. So Julius Randle in, doesn't matter to me. I will gladly take that plus 7.5 with the Grizzlies there. And that's something that we're going to, again, look at here at the end of the show to see exactly what number we're going to lock in. But we're going to be looking at that Grizzlies plus 7.5 number, especially now with the Julius Randle news, him being in for tonight's game. Great stuff there. So That one, not much to talk about besides that. Sixers at the Clippers. Clippers, I liked the Suns yesterday, but Clippers, man, they're just kind of again one of those teams you don't know what you're getting. I mean, 23-25 record. They have some great wins and have some horrible losses. So you really don't know with this team what they're gonna do. I mean, as of late, they have been playing a little bit better there. With guys just health not being too bad of an issue. Of course, you've always got your games where James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, they'll be sitting out. James Harden out tonight, personal reasons, of course. He's still out. And on the other side, I'm trying to double check with Paul George. Yeah, he's out. And Joel Embiid, he's probable. Yeah, he's good to go. I would lean Clippers back at home. I know they just came off a game, with that win last night. Kind of feels like they may have momentum. This actually might be one where I would lean a first half. First half, Clippers. You got the momentum going from last night's game. You had a pretty solid shooting night last night. So I would just lean Clippers here in the first half to continue that. As the game goes on, you get those tired legs. Again, it's a tougher 76ers team. 76ers could just kind of come back and cover there in the second half and end up winning this game and cover. So I would lean Clippers first half. That's usually pretty solid. That's a nice little lean. Other than that, full game, probably 76ers. This is just one of those spots that's where you kind of may see that happen. So NBA, that's what we're looking at. Into college basketball. Again, only 3 games for NBA. So we don't need to spend too much time on those. College basketball, this is where I'll try to break down a little bit of what we look for in these games with college basketball. For example, let's look mid-major game here. One that I'm sure not many are going to be talking about. Southeast Louisiana, right? At Lamar. These two teams, again, this is one of those when you get to these mid-major teams, these programs, you get teams that play each other, of course, twice during the season. When these two played last, Lamar lost 60-52. Of course, poor shooting performance there. Only 21% from 3. They out rebounded. Better free throw percentage. Turnovers were an issue. Just second chance points, had no problem there. Southeastern just shot the ball a lot better. 28% field goal for Lamar. That's well below what their average is. I mean, field goal percentage of 43%. I would lean Lamar here for this one, laying the 5.5. That's just one of those things in these college basketball games. Again, it usually goes 1-1. There's a lot of scenarios where that's not the case. It goes 2-0, whatever it may be. But a lot of times these teams flip flop, and if they lose one, they'll win the next one and cover. I would be leaning Lamar for that game. Syracuse, North Carolina. I don't have much on that one there. Big number there, North Carolina minus 11.5. I don't know if I would lean that. I mean, just coming back from playing at Virginia, at Georgia Tech, 2 tough road games, then you come back home against Syracuse with Duke on deck. Yeah, your head's not going to be in this 100%. I would lean probably Syracuse for this number there, simply for the fact that I don't think North Carolina is really going to be up for this game. So I would just lean Syracuse. Looking at a few others. Again, nothing really great tonight. Let's see if we can find one of those kind of mid-major teams. Another one, for example, New Orleans, East Texas A&M. New Orleans, they're laying the small number minus 1.5. These two teams played earlier in January. On January 5th, New Orleans won there 83-73, 10-point win. This is one of those. East Texas A&M, I would simply just take them for that reason there. With these teams, again, there's not a lot of – don't put too much thought in these. A lot of these teams go 1-1. This one does give me a little bit of pause though, because East Texas A&M has not played well recently, but I would still be leaning them to just win outright here on, just take that money line around plus 110, somewhere around that range. Looking at some other ones, again, this is kind of a tedious task when you're having to go through, find all these ones that you want to take a look at. Nichols at Northwestern State. That's another one similar to New Orleans there as well. I would lean Northwestern State here, losing to Nichols by 2 back on January 5th as well. Since then, they haven't played well. They lost 4 straight games. But when teams match up with the same team from earlier in the season, typically you're going to see that other team win. We can find a better spot, though. That's not one I would really push to try and bet on. Definitely the one I would look at is Stephen F. Austin and McNeese. I would probably be leaning Stephen F. Austin for this one. They played McNeese earlier in the year, again, on January 5th. They lost 66-64. Since then, they've won 7 straight games. I would lean Stephen F. Austin here, money line. I wouldn't even worry about the points, simply for the fact that they're rolling, lost that first game against McNeese State. Back at home, money line for Stephen F. Austin there. So that's kind of the route that we look at when looking at college basketball. When we get into that January, February, March, end of February, March, kind of early March schedule, that's the way we look with a lot of these mid-major teams. That's where you're going to find a lot of the value. Yeah, we can bet games like Kansas, Texas Tech, right? Great game tonight. Texas Tech laying the 4.5. Would I do it? Sure. But there's other things that you find value in. I will definitely be watching this game. Don't know if I'll be betting it. Texas Tech off of a loss on the road against UCF there. I'd expect them to bounce back. But Kansas, obviously, we know Kansas, no joke there. Just be BYU. Kansas with Darren Peterson, back and rolling, they're fine. I would lean probably Kansas here, covering that 4.5 number. Again, I'm probably not going to have a play on this one here. Great game to watch, not as great of a game to bet. Other than that, not a lot of other great games tonight. So let's just get back into the play for today. And then tomorrow we'll probably have a lot more games and a lot more fun things to talk about. It looks like quite a bigger slate of NBA and college basketball. A few games that are, pretty interesting there. In Boston College at Duke, right? Duke, you'll expect them to win and cover, no problem. Xavier, I've talked about against UConn. We'll get into all those games tomorrow. But for today, we are on the Grizzlies for our free play of the day. So let's get back to Profit X. Currently, let's find that number. Great number here. Grizzlies moved from 5.5 at the beginning of the show all the way to an 8. So we're going Grizzlies plus 8 there. And we're getting a minus 106 number. So Grizzlies plus 8, minus 106. Locking that in for our free play of the day. Again, that is part of our NBA strategy. For those joining NBA strategy, we've been tracking all season long. This is one of those that goes right into that play. So it is a free play. Grizzlies plus 8, minus 106. Locking that in now on ProfitX. There we go. Free play. Go get it. Go over to sportbetextra.com. Go get your free 7-day trial. Win with me. After that, get you another 1 week, 1 month, 3 month. Got options. I will see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Good luck tonight. I will see you again tomorrow.